Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Sharon Mohale, and I'm introducing you to the very first podcast of the Small Enterprise Development Agency. Woohoo. I'm not alone. I'm with my fabulous guest, Ms. Tintswalo Hlongwane. Tintswalo, please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much, Shaz, for inviting me. I am Tintswalo Hlongwane, also known as a Greneth. I am a creative designer for Seda, as well as an entrepreneur. I run a business called Butter and Grace. It's a skincare and home fragrance business. You can find us on www.butterandgrace.co.za.
Thank you so much, Tintswalo, for joining us.
Thank you.
Likewise. I don't need to introduce more. You already heard what the product is today, and she's got a sample of them. But before we get into the products, Tintswalo, there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there that have been in business. But today, I want us to be practical. I want us to inspire them with your journey. How did you start? How did you get the brand to be known, to be defined and packaged and labeled? You know, the whole works.
All right.
So let's start there. What was the inspiration for your business?
Okay. So it might sound difficult, but it's possible, it's doable. We just have to take it in tranches, just like this podcast. So when I started, I knew I wanted to have a product that is me.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew that I wanted to be in business. So I always had issues growing up with my skin, but the reason that made me actually want to do this more was my son.
Okay.
I have a 13-year-old boy who has dry skin. Like, oh, guys, his skin looks like he's a hobo. I did not say that out loud, but he eats well. So I thought, okay, we need to help this child. And how do I go about it? So I started doing my research.
Okay.
And I'm a person who believes in selling what I believe in selling what I know. I believe in selling things that, it must be things that I advocate for. Okay. I cannot sell you something that I do not believe in. So I'm a person who is for natural ingredients. So because I've always had skin issues myself, and I couldn't use certain fragrances because they would give me a rash, I thought, okay, let me do some research on how we can go about having something that can help my son, but that's natural.
Awesome.
So when I started, this was my very first product, the whipped body butter.
Can I smell it?
Of course you may.
Okay.
Have a look.
Tell me more about it.
So that is a whipped body butter made of unrefined shea butter.
Okay.
And it was my very first product, which I'd give to my son. It would make his skin glow, you know. The nutrients would be absorbed in his skin, and it would look different as time went. So I knew that this is something that is really awesome.
Okay.
Then what I did is, I created a launch date, kind of got people interested, excited, and I sold my first 50 jars in like a couple of, through that launch date.
Amazing.
And then, with kids, these kids, they just want to get inside the water and run out.
True.
So I thought to myself, okay, my son is finding the butter because the texture is a bit thicker than lotion.
Okay.
So he wanted something that he can quickly get in the bathtub and quickly get out. He's not into the self-care, self-love, hashtag Sundays for love, He's not into that. He's young. He just want to get in, get out. So then that's when I introduced a lotion, which is this one. You can have a look while I talk. Okay. And then after the lotion, I thought to myself, you know what?
She's rosy.
Before people put lotion or butter, they must bath.
True.
So what do we need? We need a gel that will keep the bathtub clean and keep that body clean as well.
True.
So we needed something that will work in the bathtub, in the shower, and also as a hand wash. And that is when I introduced my body washes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they different? Because you just touched
Yes,
both
they're
of them.
different. This one is unscented for those who don't do scents.
Okay.
And then this one is scented for those who love, a little bit of revivement in the morning. And yeah, so that is how the product started to grow. Yes.
I love the fact that your son was an inspiration for all this product to exist, and you were solving a problem.
Yes.
A problem that now no longer exists.
Definitely.
Because then you tapped into a market.
Yes.
Especially because you were able to sell. Meaning there were a lot of other parents out there, or people in the general, looking for a solution.
Yes.
And now it exists.
For the whole family.
Amazing, amazing. So what about this other one?
This is a room, like I mentioned earlier, that I'm also into home fragrances.
Okay.
It's a room mist. We like, sometimes you leave your house. And, they always say that, let's say you're gone for a couple of hours or a couple of days. Whatever scent that you come back to, that welcomes you, is what people smell when you return home. That is when I decided, okay, let me do, diffusers, which I don't have today, but at least we've got the room mists that will elevate the atmosphere in your house. And this is where the scents come in.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, this is basically a range of products that exist. But this is where the journey started for Butter and Grace. So, T, I want us to now educate our viewers about the importance of brand.
All right.
And I think you are the best case study, because we are not talking theory now. We are being practical. We're going to be able to relate to somebody who is already started or aspiring to start a business, but they don't even know how to fine-tune and introduce their brand. So you know very well that there's elements of brand identity. So this basically is a 360 degrees of how you've established and have a product that is existing. So let's take it one step at a time now. Let's create a flow.
Okay.
For example, the brand name. What is the importance of having a brand name?
All right. So I'm going to speak on the brand name, but I just want to mention to SMMEs that some would be like, why do I need a brand anyway? So it's important that your business is branded, because a brand creates an identity for your business. A brand helps you to become memorable, because when people see it more than once, they're able to remember it.
True.
And when they remember it, soon they trust it. When they trust it, they want to try it, they want to participate, they want to have it. So a brand is important because it creates that, it builds relationship with your customers. And with a brand, you're also able to use it so that you boost your marketing, your advertising, and above all, your employees can take pride in the brand that you have created. So those are just some elements why it is important for you to have a brand. And then the reason why we have a brand name is because whatever industry that you want to operate in already has businesses.
True.
So you want to be able to stand out.
True.
You want to be able to communicate your difference. You want to be able to tell people why you are there.
And why they should choose you and not
why
other.
Exactly.
Yes.
That is when the brand name comes in. So with me, because I'm working a lot with butters, my formulas have a lot of butters: unrefined shea butter, cocoa butter, mango butter. It was important that I incorporate butter in the name. So that is the first half of the Butter and Grace brand. The Grace part is something that I wanted to be personal. There must be a little bit of me inside this business. Even when I'm not there and it grows big, I must still be in it.
True.
And my name is Tenswalo. Tenswalo means grace. But people who are international may not be able to even spell Denzwalo. People, even here in South Africa, there are people who are not Tsonga who cannot spell it. So I wanted a name that's relatable. I wanted a name that's market friendly. I wanted a name that can work. Whether I'm designing, whether I'm speaking, it must be catchy. So I thought, okay, I can't use the word Denzwalo, but let me use grace. So it's butter and grace. And because I'm a child of God, I'm a Christian, and I love the Lord, hallelujah.
Amen.
I thought to myself, you know what? Grace also covers the aspect of something that is gracious, something that is glowing, something that is good, and that is the kind of purity, that is the kind of display or image that I am moving with. And hence the name, Butter and Grace. And after I came up with that, it took a while. I had to make sure that that name is not someone else's name. And that is a process that I took with CIPC to trademark that baby. But that is not the topic of today. We'll come into that another time.
We'll definitely visit that.
Yes.
Yes. So thank you so much, Denzwalo, for unpacking the name as well as the importance of making it resonate with with your values. I think that's one thing that people tend to forget, that we just want to be out there, be visible, but then our values are somehow left behind.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we're getting into the next phase, Butter and Grace has been registered.
Yes.
It's been trademarked.
Totally.
How do people recognize it? Let's talk the logo part.
All right. So in order, first we start with it's a very small aspect, the logo, but it's so important because the logo goes first. I mean, the logo can be on a paper, it can be on a quote, on an invoice, on a proposal, on your clothing. The logo is versatile.
True.
So it's important that you create something that is unique. But I always like to say, let us start first with where we want to be, and then we come backwards.
The vision and the mission.
Yes. So we have to look at where we are going.
Yes.
Where we want to reach. We have to look at what are our values within this business or within this service that we are trying to give to the people. We jot that down, we write that down. There's a lot of writing that will come into this because we're brainstorming. And then once you have your vision set, you've got your mission set, you've got your values, and then what you do is you take the name that you have registered for your business, and then you just make it you shape it in a way that is different from your competitors. It must be visible. It must be clean. So this is where you get to choose a font type. This is where you get to play around with icons, like little graphic elements that make the logo different. Why? Because that is the first, it's like the face. That is the logo, the face of the business. And that is where we start.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love the way you've just summed it up, because you've also touched on the typography, the color. It speaks a lot about the presentation and how people will remember you.
Yes.
So basically, your brand and your logo is what people will know. They will remember, and they will be able to identify you with those.
Yes.
So, as a graphic designer, what made you choose these colors? Beside these colors, I also want you to emphasize the importance of colors as well as the tone and voice.
Okay, so with colors, it's a thing of what is it that you are communicating as a business. For example, if I'm in a business that speaks about things that are alarming, danger, I'll use probably red, lots of brights, because red, it communicates danger. There's no way I can now come and have a business and have an element of blue hues that are coming for something that is exciting and fun, but then I speak like hello, So the reason I have my different colors is because firstly, my product is about cleanliness, about purity. I want everything to be in a specific order. The colors that I use, firstly, I use colors to differentiate the products.
Okay.
So that it makes it easier. I know if I'm holding a red jar that I'm holding a She's Rosy lotion, you know. I know that if it's with the butters, if it's yellow, it means it's got lemon inside.
Okay.
And if it's blue, it means it's unscented.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So even with the bigger body wash as well, it's blue, it's unscented. So that is how I came up with the colors. I wanted the colors to speak to my I wanted the colors to speak to my customers, and then I also wanted the colors to speak to the products themselves. And then that is how the colors came about. Another thing that I can mention with the colors is normally when you are designing your logo, that is when you'll be able to create 2 or 3 colors that you can start delving deeper into them as you go along, because you will have a color palette, but your logo will also show you the primary colors for the business. So for example, with me, there are colors that I use on paper, and then there are colors that work on the products themselves.
Okay. All
Yes.
right. Okay, so you cannot necessarily be uniform throughout. You need
No.
to improvise on that.
Yes, it won't necessarily be uniform because it also depends on the kind of business you're running. For example, a primary school or a preschool, let's say maybe you're running a daycare center. Daycares are fun because they're kids, you know. You want bright colors.
True.
So you may have your yellows, your blues, your greens. And then you may have a business that actually has like Pantone colors that speak to each other, maybe like milky tones. Let me break it down a little bit and
Please
say,
do.
you know, like maybe you've got milk colors,
Okay.
but colors that complement each other.
All right.
You are even able to say, with this color is when I'm speaking formal things.
Okay.
With that color will be used for banners or print work. This other color that I have here will be strictly for online purposes. So you can also do that. It also depends. It's not rigid, but it's elastic. It lets you be able to work with it according to what it is that your vision and your mission and your values are, because all these things marry each other.
One thing that I'm taking away from this conversation is the importance of doing research.
Totally.
Because for you to end up coming to a color that will resonate with your vision and mission, you need to know what works.
Yes.
And ultimately, T, I believe everybody that has a business wants to grow so that it actually become a household brand nationally and internationally. I mean, we're living in a global place, I mean,
Yes.
market right now. And colors mean different things in different cultures.
Yes.
So that's another a very important aspects that people need to take cognizance of.
Yes.
So the shape, why this shape? What informed you to have the shape?
That one is a funny one. I like pretty things. I like things that there's a lot of me in the business. So when something is, I need people to feel like I'm owning something that I can be proud of. I'm using something that I wake up in the morning and I feel confident to pick that particular product and use it. So it must translate as well with the kind of packaging that I use, with the kind of shapes that I go about using. Hence the layout. The way the layout is it's consistent with the kind of jars as well that I use.
Okay.
It's consistent as well with the kind of layout that I use for the business. So the shapes as well with my look and feel. The kind of shapes that I use are simple. They are, if you can see with the products right now, they're mostly rectangles. They are simple, clean lines. That is because that is the kind of communication that I want when people visit, different pages, whether it's on the website, whether it's social media, whether it's with my invoicing. They need to know that with everything, it's a clean kind of feel, so that even if someone were to duplicate, there are certain things that you are able to tell that this one is not the one.
I guess it comes with a benefit
Yes.
of your profession.
Exactly.
Okay, so T, how do we then bring the slogan into all this?
So the slogan also comes into play with your vision. And it comes into play with your unique selling proposition, your unique selling point. Let's keep it simple. So once I know what's different about my business, I am able to I'm able to come up with something that will, resonate with the products. For example, with Butter and Grace, we use handcrafted with care, because the products are not machine made, they're literally handcrafted. So all the products that you get have been touched, have been, customized.
Yes, that special touch.
That special human element has come into play. And then that is the beauty of it. And with handcrafted with care, I also wanted to be sure to be, to communicate the fact that it's not chemically driven. And that is where we come in. There are different brands out there that have different slogans.
Yes.
For example, with Nike, you know that when you're about to buy that pair of shoes, you're about to do great things because it's just do it.
Exactly.
You're not thinking 3 times. With Seda, together advancing small enterprises, we are all of us working together with our partners to help build small businesses. Yes. So it must be a name that resonates with your vision, with why are you here? What is it that you are doing? A little touch that sometimes people don't really, that sometimes they overlook, but they don't really overlook it because it'll play into all your marketing. It'll play into all your advertising. Yeah.
Today we had a mouthful from the expert herself, Miss T. I believe that you've learned a lot, and you will go back to your drawing board as entrepreneurs to go and verify, are you on track with your colors, with your look and feel, with your packaging? What are you communicating, the tone, you name it. Do research. There's nothing as wrong as being comfortable with your brand. Well-established brand are always rebranding because you need to stay relevant.
Totally.
The times have changed, the needs are changing. So if you can't adapt, you will be phased out. Tinzolo, thank you so much for sharing with us today. How do people find you? Just remind them again.
Okay, thank you for having me. You can find us on butterandgrace.co.za or on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok as Buttered by Grace. And can I just share something with our SMMEs, if you don't mind? Thank you so much. I feel like maybe let's just give them some tools that they can use.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Just some tools that they can use to practice some of these things that we were talking about. If you would like, you can have fabulous graphic designer as myself to help you with your branding. Otherwise, some of us don't always have that big budget or enough money to build. So it's important that we try tools like Canva. If you can Google Canva, it's a free platform that you can use to try and create branding elements or play around with it so you can figure out how you want your brand to look. And that is a platform that I feel like you can start with in order to create what you want your business to look like. You can also use it as well to try and find a voice for your business so that when you speak to people, you do it in a way that they understand. Yeah, I think I can leave it at there for now.
I think you just made another call to action. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you still want to learn more, do follow us. Remember, Small Enterprise Development Agency is here to support you, to develop you, and to assist you to grow and sustain your business. We've got 54 branches across the country. If you want to get the contact details, go on our website, www.seda.org.za. Under the contact details, you'll be able to see all 9 provinces. Below every province, there's branches and contact details as well as addresses.
Yes.
Beside that, we are on social media. We are on X, we are on YouTube, we are on Instagram and Facebook. So Seda_DSBD. That's your friend. to make you grow. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.